everybody, this is Ginger and this is Ginger's Chat Show. And yes, I got my hair cut. Uh, I kind of really needed it. Needed everything. Um, Last couple of days I've been fighting off a cold. I think I'm winning. That's why I did do my chat on Monday because I woke up with a headache, stiff neck, and I was going, okay, this is not good. So I decided, and my voice wasn't working right. So I decided to give myself a day of rest and then do the chat today. Well, there's been a number of events that has been happening. Of course, you know, the Venezuela invasion that occurred with Trump's stupidity and Hanks' stupidity. And I can understand that commanders say, hey, this is illegal because you're violating international law. You have to get congressional approval to do this. And Trump bypassed congressional approval. He didn't bother getting it. So this happened. And now the president of Venezuela, Maduro, is right now he's sitting in jail along with his wife. Of course, they did all these trumped up charges and everything else. Well, really, there's no fentanyl coming out of Venezuela, okay, at all. You do have some marijuana, but marijuana now is pretty much, the schedule on that has changed. And it's been proven that marijuana is not a gateway to drug addiction. It never has been, okay? Um, so, all in all, the judge that's presiding over the trial and everything else, he's going to make a decision, and I'll bet you he's going to throw it out. Because nothing was done right per Bondi, okay? She doesn't really understand how things really work, okay? I mean, she's an idiot. She doesn't have any experience in this. So Bondi, knock it off, okay? Stop going after innocent people. If you have proof that somebody did something and broke law, show the proof. Don't sit there and say, well, I don't like this person politically because of this and this, and then try to drum up charges. That's not going to work because it'll backfire on you, Bondi. And Trump, and also I think the majority of these actions occur is because of Stephen Miller. I think he's behind all this too. He's just egging Trump on. He knows how Trump operates and everything, right? And so Stephen Miller needs to be removed as well. And this thing of going after people saying negatively, saying things about Trump, well, that's just too bad because that's part of the game of being president of the United States. You have to take criticism because there are some things that people see that they may not see it, okay? In other words, a different angle, different view. You know how that works. And so I do hope the judge will. Sure, the guy Maduro did a lot of bad things, and the new president of Venezuela, of course, temporary powers, really out temporary. And the Venezuelan oil quality is not all that good. But I understand you have to go through a extra process of really refining it. Right now, in its current form, it's very, very tarry. There's a lot of tar in it, and that causes problems. So it's not really all that super good. Okay. Venezuela has an extra refinement facility to smooth out the oil and everything else. And there's another one in Texas. Uh, this is what a lot of chemists are saying, okay, on this. Um, no, I think it's all about is Trump's ego and playing roughshod over other countries. He thinks that he could take over like Greenland and everything else. Well, that's not going to happen. Denmark, push back. Tell Trump to go take a flying leap. Don't miss words. Don't be diplomatic about it. Just say it and just push back. And you know what? He will blink. He will blink and run. That's why he called Taco Donnie. Trump always chickens out. Okay? And he goes he goes after people that he thinks they're uh, defamation. That's kind of hard. Okay? People could say what they need to say. So I'm not afraid of Trump. He's just a petty little bully that his uh, Mary Trump was saying that he was not cared for properly in his formative years at 2 years old and everything else, because when his mom got sick and everything else. Well, the father has never learned. Well, the father doesn't like children. Well, he's forgetting one little tiny little detail. He was a kid once too. Okay. So that's why Trump is the way he is. And Mary has explained it. And said it is sad. It is sad. If none of that actions happened while he was growing up, he would have turned out a better person. Okay? He would have turned out all right. But he has narcissism, which is a very strong, as she puts it, very strong defense mechanism on him. He developed that when he was 2 years old. So, I don't have sympathy for Trump now. He's an adult. Now, if he was a kid, that's a different story. Really, Trump should have been treated. He should have gotten help there. It should have not been left undiagnosed. But things like that happen. Happen to all the other kids in the country. If they're not, some of them are abused. And so that's why some of them turn out the way they did. Because that's a defense mechanism for them. But if you look it up and read about child development and how during 2 years old on, how they develop and learn the rules and everything else. There's some kids that turned out beautifully, and there's some kids that haven't because of they've been abused. Now on to lighter things here. The regular season for NFL came to a close. This weekend is the wild card weekend, where the teams that are in the wild card slots compete against each other to go for the NFC and AFC, respectively, championships. The Seahawks are on a 1-week bye. They played their last game last Friday. They won. They beat the 49ers. Sorry. They beat the 49ers. So, they're on a 1-week bye. Actually, 2 weeks bye, if you really be technical about it. But the regular season's ended right now. Now one game had to be one game, and between two other teams had to be moved because of the weather. Weather hasn't helped any in a lot of areas. Um, the wild cards this weekend. Then the following weekend is the AFC divisional championships. Then the weekend after that is the AFC and NFC conference championships, and that's when they qualify for the Super Bowl. Okay. And I think the Seahawks have a good chance of getting there again. See, right now, Denver, who we beat during Super Bowl last time, which was 2013, they're now AFC West champions. Okay, so now they also are on a 1 week bye. What I mean by 1 week bye is they take a break. They get some rest, and they can watch how the other teams get things together and sort things out. Also, lately, and guess who was in the wild card in hockey? The Seattle Kraken. They won a game last night. They won, like, I think 6 games in a row, I think. I would have to look it up, but the Kraken's doing really well. So they're in the wild card. So they're still playing up. They're close to finishing up their season. Let's see, what else? Other than that, we'll just, watch out things, be sure to push back, do some yelling. Remind Congress, those in Congress, who they work for, which is you. You and I are the government. We're the government. We're the bosses. We elect people on our behalf to do the jobs on our behalf. Right? So, you push back and remind them that to Congress, especially those in the GOP, they are attached to the Constitution. They don't work for the president. Okay? They need to be reminded of that and be told that. And I said, no, we're not. And I go, well, when you got sworn in to Congress, what does that say? What does that tell you? You're beholden to the people and your constituents. Now, there are some GOP reps that are not MAGA. They don't like them. They don't like working with them. Many of them are kind of middle of the road or liberal GOP. You have those too. And so they're pushing back. They're banding together with the Democrats. Now, you keep hearing that, oh, well, the Democrats are not doing anything. Oh, yes, they are. Yeah, we're doing a lot. We're doing protests. We're writing letters. We're pushing back and saying, hey. And we're pushing it back against Trump. Now, over this past weekend, Trump was ordered to remove his name from the Kennedy Center and put back the John F. Kennedy Center, the Performing Arts. Put that back. He can't put his name on there. Also, he illegally tried doing the coin thing, and he has to get congressional approval on that. And that's illegal too. So he needs to be held accountable. And you keep hearing people say, oh, well, that's not going to happen. Well, when you say that, you're condoning what Trump is doing. You're not pushing back. You're just hiding under a desk and hoping for the best. No, you've got to push back. I'm pushing back. Okay? And yes, the prices are high and everything else, but we do our best to hunt around and find the right store, company, whatever, that uh, buy items from. Now, about 2 weeks ago, I was having trouble with Safeway getting groceries. And they kept saying, well, we don't deliver out here and everything else. I find that kind of funny. You've been delivering out here since, what, 5, 6 years ago? 6 years running. It's been longer than that, I think. And uh, now you're telling me you don't deliver out here anymore? And you're refusing to fix the problem? Okay, fine. I'm gonna go find it. I told him, I said, I'm gonna find another grocery store that does deliver. Well, I went with Amazon Fresh. And I love their service. They're quick, they're fast. Like the one day that I ordered, I was running out of groceries, and so I ordered some items, and I got it 2 hours later or an hour later. They were so fast, quick, and efficient. And their store is right here in the Lakewood Telecom area. And so they delivered. And they're cheaper. Their delivery is free. And so they're much, much cheaper. Okay. So you just hunt around, just do your research on getting items that you want. Majority of the things I get, like office supplies, my electronics. I used to go through Best Buy on my electronics, but not anymore. Um, they've gotten really expensive there. Well, I went through Amazon and some of my things. I went through Amazon to get my laptop, and that was way cheaper. Okay, they always make sure their items are in stock. They double check that. Okay, so people say, well, Bezos is a Trump supporter. Not really. He doesn't act like it. He's not promoting himself as a Trump supporter. Okay, Bezos is working on other things. He mostly concentrating on Washington Post, but he does put out articles that try to show the facts and everything else. Facts matter. And you hear people say, oh, well, facts don't matter. Yes, they do matter. They really do matter. So, push back. So anyway, let me check my calendar. Hold on a second. Okay, I will see you on Friday at 1 o'clock as always. And I'm sure many of you are going to be glued to the TV for the wild card championships for your respective teams. That is if you watch football. Um, um, and just keep an eye on the news. Go through Minus Touch. I've been watching Fair and Balanced. I like his speaking style and how he points out things and everything else. And then Minus Touch, to get your news. And if you can, try to get local news. They say, well, that's spoon-fed in local news. No, not really. Not that. And our volunteer local news here in Lakewood area, Pierce County, Lakewood area, they started up a new newspaper format called the Cascadian, and it covers everything, covers around the Puget Sound area. And so, and by the way, we're recovering. People are now in repair and everything else, dealing with the insurance companies. And note to the insurance companies, pay the premium so people can get back on their feet and the economy can get moving again. Don't penalize people of something that's not of their control. Okay? And also to the House, start pushing back on high prices. Ban the tariffs. Get rid of the tariffs. I mean, I could see tariffs like back in the 1700s or something, but their tariffs were like on tea. Okay? Um, that was usually the major commodity then. It wasn't until lumber and other things started expanding, on trade and what items are traded and what items are not traded and everything. But push back on the prices and stop the price gouging. That's not going to get you anywhere by price gouging. It's going to get you into trouble. So push back on that. Okay, I will see you guys later. I'm going to get myself some lunch. And I'll see you on Friday at 1 o'clock. Okay? Love to all. And thank you for watching. Bye-bye.